Gen V has come to an end. Well, the first season anyway, and it definitely went out with a bang. Following on from the events of episode 7 where Cate killed Cate, within this episode we saw that Godolphin University was under attack from the soups that were previously kept inside of the woods after being freed. With an ending that left a lot of questions, a mid-credits scene and Homelander making an appearance, let's recap, break down and explain all that there was to take away from this episode. So let's get into it. Here is Gen V Episode 8 breakdown, ending and post-credit scene explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The ending explained. Well, the ending of this episode was one that had me scratching my head and wondering what the hell happened. With Cate releasing all of the soups that were previously contained in the woods onto the street and there being a mass slaughtering of humans which was being done by them, it meant that Marie, Jordan, Andre and Emma had to be on the other side and try to save the day. We saw in this moment just how powerful Cate actually is, but also how vulnerable she can be too, as she has no defense. She was using her powers to force those around her to almost feel nothing, and act in a way that caused terror amongst the humans, even innocent ones that had nothing to do with the facility that was the woods. But she didn't care. Within this moment, she truly became the monster that her mother was fearful of all of those years ago. This is why I think that Cate was fine having innocent people being harmed too, because she'd never really been treated well by a human. Her mother locked her away and Shetty manipulated her to the point where she was being controlled. So that was her own personal vendetta and justification to destroy those that were in front of her. The language that she used as well when speaking to Marie showed that she also thought of soups and humans as two completely different beings, and on different levels of society, so her mind was truly corrupted. With the climax occurring where the group had quite literally turned on themselves, we had Andre and Sam in a one-on-one where they were both neutralized by each other. Sam was told to feel nothing at this point, so I was surprised that he didn't make easy work of Andre. Maybe it shows just how durable of an individual Andre actually is, especially considering what Sam did to many other individuals that day. Plus, Jordan was in a fight with 3 other soups where they were being overpowered. In this moment, we saw Marie cause the soup with laser vision to have some kind of heart attack, and she stopped her blood from circulating around her body. An arm to Marie's powers that we hadn't seen before, but it was something that many of us were theorizing could be the case, so it was good to see that even though it was by accident, it was actually a possibility, and it does make her stronger. Then Marie used all of the blood from the bodies that were around her and she fired it towards the others in an epic scene, causing them all to be killed. Again showing just how powerful of a person Marie actually is. We know that in the past, when Marie was looking to utilize those powers, her PTSD would kick in and she'd struggle. But in this instance, because she was protecting Jordan, somebody that she cared for, and it was saving them, she didn't have a second thought. With Jordan being saved, it looked as though Cate was going to utilize her powers on Jordan by touching them. But instead, before she could, Marie caused Cate's hand to explode, a moment that was predicted by many in the comments, so congrats on that. But it marked the state of the friendship of the group, the division, and the fact that there's most probably no way back for it. This is the largest explosion that we've seen Marie do. We know that she caused Rufus to lose a particular body part, but Cate's forearm, that's massive. It shows that she's definitely got it in her to go all out Newman one day and just do it to her room. So that's something to watch out for. With Homelander then arriving, he looked at Marie and he was almost disgusted by what she had done. He mentioned how he was surprised that she'd hurt her own kind, and with that, he fired up his laser vision and directed it towards her, which then caused Marie, Emma, Jordan and Andre to wake up inside of a doorless white room before it cut to black. There was a news segment where Sam and Cate were being praised as the heroes of God U, and how the 4 in the room were the ones that caused the terror, something which did surprise me and was confusing, but here's my thoughts on that. The news segment where Sam and Cate were being held as the heroes of God U, Homelander was looking at it with a smile on his face and some kind of sentimental look, almost as if he knew Cate or Sam and there was some kind of connection. So I wonder if that's something that's going to be explored in the next season of Gen V. I hope it does, because there's definitely more than meets the eye with that. I don't think he's smiling because he's satisfied with what he did. I feel he knows one of them in some way. The 4 of them that are now locked inside of the room are probably being kept inside of a facility at Ford and are being closely monitored. I can't imagine it's anything too dangerous though, as Emma had some pink drink and she looked extremely casual, so somebody must have brought that to her. So whilst I don't think they're in danger, I think Vought has a larger plan at play for them. Also, I have to call out as well, Marie absolutely absorbed Homelander's laser vision, something which I've never seen before. Again, showing just how powerful she is. She truly is one of a kind and could genuinely be one of the most powerful supes that's out there. The post-credits scene. Right after the credits started rolling, after a couple of seconds, the scene started playing out. This was a short section where we had Billy Butcher walking down the hallway of the now abandoned woods, looking into a cell and saying a line in his typical fashion. This may seem inconsequential, but what it actually shows us is that he was probably the person that was on the other end of the phone call in the previous episode when Mallory was meeting with Dean Cate, and Cate revealed all about the virus. So that is a massive setup for the plot point in Season 4 of The Boys, and him actually being there inside of the facility confirmed everything that he heard on the line and the inhumane treatment that the supes were going through. But more so the corrupt nature of Vought. With Billy knowing about the virus and the fact that it's something which is extremely dangerous to supes, with him wanting to wipe out Homelander and even Victoria Newman at this point following the end of Season 3, it means we're most likely going to be seeing the boys going after the virus and looking at a way of weaponizing it. That's if they ever find it. Marie's sister theory. Marie was promised the opportunity to meet her sister if she was able to neutralize the situation that was occurring on campus, something that she did do. However, with her waking up inside of the facility, it most likely means that the deal is off the cards now. But I don't think that's the end of the arm of the story. Marie's sister is at the core of Marie and everything that she does, even being mentioned in the season finale and appearing in flashbacks. Marie went to God U because she wanted to be a hero to prove to her sister that she's not a monster, something that she said that she would always think that she was following what she did to her parents. Personally, I like the idea of Marie's sister going on to have V in her system, because her parents did the same thing to her as what they did to Marie. I think that's something that could happen. And when they do eventually meet, her sister could be extremely against her, and their relationship could be at a point where it won't ever get mended, so they'll have to face off against each other. I could see something like that happening. Considering how powerful and gifted Marie is, maybe her sister could be too. Vought clearly knows of Marie's sister, her location and who she is, so it does make me wonder if she's in the books because she is special when it comes to her powers. I hope that's something that we'll see in the next season of the show. Overall review. I thought this was a great way for the first season of the show to finish. It wasn't that long, only about 40 minutes, but I don't think it needed to be super long. The entirety of this first season had been building to this point, and I'm glad that it literally showed us what we needed to see and nothing more. One particular scene that stood out to me in this season finale, outside of all of the obvious ones, was the conversation that we saw taking place with Emma and Sam in the drama studio. I thought the emotion, passion, pacing, and outright upset was something which shot through the screen and grabbed a hold of my heart when watching it. I felt the pain that Emma felt, and I also felt the confliction that Sam felt too, knowing that he shouldn't be doing what he was doing, but wanting to seek revenge on all of those that had hurt him before. It was a real heartbreaking moment for sure. The cliffhanger of an ending was something that felt true to the show's nature, and it's most probably going to be answered in Season 2 of Gen V. I can't see them roping in Marie and everybody else that's stuck in the doorless room into the boys. That feels like its own thing. I liked how there were justifiable appearances in Gen V, but I kind of hope that the boys doesn't start looping in Gen V characters, because although they are connected, I kind of like the boys for what it is. All of the cast did a phenomenal job in not only this season finale, but also in this first season of the show. Cate's character development and her own personal descent into darkness was a pleasure to witness, and it was something that I didn't expect to happen when I first laid eyes on the character, so she definitely stole the latter part of the season for me. But I would have to say that the character of Marie was one that was also a pleasure to watch, seeing her overcoming her own personal demons in order to want to learn and understand her powers, and to ultimately be the person who saved the day in the dying parts of the episode. It showed not only how strong she was, but how important she was. The cast were truly remarkable, and the casting director did a great job with that. Is this show as good as The Boys? Yes, but in a completely different way. You don't get exactly what you get with The Boys with this show. The Boys feels like there's more at stake and like the story has a lot more depth to it, but there have been 3 seasons of that, so that's inevitable. But I think after only one season, Gen V has already proved to be one of the best shows that was released this year, and it's highlighted that it's got a good future. So, there you have it, Gen V Episode 8 ending and post-credits scene explained.